Hello there, Jack, and welcome to Green Screen DIY Filmmaking 200. As you can see, I'm here in my little tiny upper room. To my left, I've got my window, my tripod set up, and over here is where I'm going to set up the green screen, just attaching it to the ceiling so that I can shoot this. First thing is using your grip. As you can see, all you have to do is rotate this little nut to bring it up and down. Go ahead and set your phone in it so that it's pretty much centered up, and you want the screen part of your phone facing the outside of the grip. So you've got the back side on the back of your phone. I'm going to go ahead and unlock this and open up my software. Now, the important thing about a green screen is getting very even light. Green screens fall apart completely when they don't have very careful, nice, even illumination. And this window is going to be as good as a professional LED light bank or a softbox, because as you can see, it's providing a nice even illumination, and it's got a big, nice square surface around it. So that's what we're going to use to bring our light towards us and just illuminate us. Now, there's some restrictions on it. As you can see, what I've done is I've placed the tripod so that it is squarely in the middle of the window, and it's about mid-level height. Depending on how high you're going to be in the shot, you can raise it up and down, but you really need to make sure that your camera is exactly mid-level in the window. I'm just going to turn my camera so that it's facing me in selfie mode. There we go. And as you can see from this window, I'm going to show you just with this camera, if I go too far to the right, I start to get dim. You see I get brighter here in the middle. If I go too far to the left, I start to get dim again. So we want the camera centered up on the window, and we're going to keep ourselves centered up on the window. And then all of this space here in the background we're going to cover with the green screen. Now when it comes to distance, I'm using this fisheye so you can see as much as possible here. There you can see my nice little setup. We're going to want to be about 5 feet. We're going to hang the green screen about 5 feet away from the camera itself. Maybe 6 feet depending on how much space there is. And then in that middle space, we're going to use a chair. Depending on how tall your window is, you can stand. I'd love to actually stand for this shot, but I think I'm just going to have to use the chair. There's really not enough space here. This ceiling is really low. A green screen is nothing fancy. It's just a sheet. Maybe a little bit heavier than most sheets, just so it's thick enough that you can see through. Go ahead and take your green screen and shake it out. Now you notice mine is very wrinkly. I like wrinkly green screens. Yours is going to be smooth, but it's going to have fold marks on it. When I'm done with my green screens, I crumple them up. I don't fold them up because those fold lines make really hard lines in the green screen, and crumpled lines are actually a little more random in shape, and I prefer them. They're easier to deal with. Some people fold, some people don't. For this, I'm just using a push pin. I've got 4 little push pins here. Your green screen has a long side and a short side. Yours is 9 feet by 15 feet. And that sounds pretty big, but we're going to use the whole thing when we go outside. I've got my 9-foot length, that's my shorter length. Stretching out my arms so that I can find the middle. And I'm going to take the middle and just push pin it up to the ceiling in the middle of the ceiling. You may have to stand on a chair, and you may have to hold it in place to get that second push pin up. going to go over to the left, put in my second push pin, this is a little hard because we've got an angled wall. You only need your green screen to cover the area that you're going to be filming in. It doesn't need to cover anymore. So as you can see, I've got my green screen up. Do you see there is a dark line along the top? That means my illumination falls off a little bit as it gets close to the top. I'm going to lower my tripod down just a hair. That looks good. And then I'm going to pull it out a little more so that I can try to get a bit more coverage in my shot. Now keep in mind, the further back you go, the bigger your tripod needs to go, because a camera shoots out in an angle that increases with every foot that goes away from it. So it makes kind of a wedge-shaped view. And as you push that green screen further back, that wedge is going to get bigger. Right now I've got this at a good distance. It's about an arm's length. And I'm going to set my chair up. Well, first off, I'm going to make sure that the bottom is nice and pulled out. I don't want a bunch of bunching up at the bottom because that'll make wrinkles that run up. And you can see I have this nice even illumination. You can see there is a shadow running along the top of this. That's the shadow being cast by the window because the window can only throw so much light. But as you can see, the light is still quite evenly illuminated. Put it in my chair, not too close. Now watch as I sit down. You see that shadow that's formed behind my head? That shadow is really strong as I go close to it. And as I get further away, that shadow gets very even. If I get far enough away, that shadow pretty much disappears. Now, the nice thing about this very direct view is that even though I'm throwing a shadow behind myself, that shadow is hidden behind myself. If I go back though, that shadow becomes bigger and now it's going to become visible in the shot. But so long as I keep things very square and even, and as long as I pull forward, I've got about 2 feet, maybe 1.5 feet between me and the wall, and then in front, I've got maybe 3, maybe 4 feet. That distance is really good. If you can get a teeny bit more distance in the back, that would be great. But if you get too much distance, the light's going to start to fall off on this and it's not going to be illuminated as well. So there you have it. This is how to set up a green screen in your room without any lights at all and just a cell phone. And this is going to give you a very easy, even key. Okay, we're switching to the camera view, and the first thing I notice is that I've got some edges here that are not hanging down well. So I grabbed a couple more push pins and I'm gonna push this up a little further out. On either side. make sure there's no wrinkles in the screen. Looks like I'm losing an edge over here. So you want to check your frame. I can get rid of that wrinkle there. A little bit of a wrinkle like this is okay. It'll probably not show up too much, but you want to make sure that you have something in the shot completely so that you can see what you're doing. And I'm checking behind myself to see if there's any shadows, but I think this looks pretty good. What we're going to do is an exercise called I'm the Real Jack, or in this case, I'm the Real John. You're going to record yourself coming into the frame. I'm staying low because I don't want to cut my head off. So I'm going to come into the frame low like this. I'm going to say, I'm the Real John, and then I'm going to wait for about 30 seconds so that I've got enough time that I can stay in the frame as I come in again and as I come in again. Okay? So watch this, and then I'll have you record this yourself. Hi everybody, I'm the Real John. I just wanted to let you know that I in fact am the Real John. Just me. That seemed about enough. I don't know what this guy's talking about. I'm the Real John. There's only one John, and I am the Real John, and this is it. This is me, the Real John. Okay, that should be enough. Okay, these guys are ridiculous. There's only one John, and it's me. I am the Real John. None of these folks are the Real John. I am the Real John. No, it's only me. Just me. Okay, that should be enough. Hey guys, these guys have it all wrong. I am the Real John. This is me, the Real John. I'm the Real John. None of these other Johns are real. I am the Real John. Get it straight. That's it. Okay, and that should be enough. So you record all four of those, then we'll cut them up, stack them on top of each other, and we'll key them all out, and then we'll bring them all in together, and you'll have four Johns having a conversation. You'll need to pick a background image, so choose some place that you want to be. You can find it, steal it off the internet, take a picture yourself, anything you want to do. All right.